Well, when you hear about a new scam going around, you may wonder what separates those who fall victim from those who don't.
Well, a new study from the Better Business Bureau is shining light on this subject, and here today to tell us more is Heather Massey with your BBB. So exciting. Thank you for being here.
Thanks for having me.
I love studies. I find research fascinating, especially when it's about who's more susceptible to being a victim of scams.
We know we're all susceptible to being scam victims in this day and age, but our study was really interesting. Social media was the #1 platform that people fell victim to. So 91% of people, if they were engaged via social media, they responded back to the scammer, and nearly 53% of them lost money.
Oh no.
Wow.
So what kind of scams are included in social media postings? I've seen UGG boots, Ray-Bans, different things like that, but I know there's a plethora of them.
One of them, too, is romance scams. So you'll get things via Messenger, and they're trying to seek that affection. You know, maybe you're widowed or divorced. So these are just a big variety. Also, grandparent scams. We have a lot of our seniors that are on social media, and so they are targeted, maybe saying their grandchild is in jail, and so they're seeking financial money. So it's a really interesting thing, but social media is just a huge platform because people can remain anonymous.
And how much research do you know that the victim or the scammers go through in looking at maybe your profile and then trying to target that from what you've said or picture that you've posted?
Well, I say this quite a bit. People overshare on social media, especially when you do your about profile on social media and you let people know who your mother is, your sister, your brothers. People can use that avenue and they can really create a huge web and intertwine your family members in it as well. So you really want to check your privacy settings and keep things private. Something we also found that third parties were really able to intercept people. These are like cashiers or people at your bank or even wire transfer services.
Wow.
Nearly half of them were able to stop that transaction before it occurred and let the people know they were being scammed.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, that is pretty good. But what are some other things that people can do to make sure their information isn't just out there on social media? I know in my about section, there are a couple things that I forgot are even listed in there.
Yeah, do those privacy checks often, because a lot of times on social media platforms, their privacy changes as well, and they might make some of your personal information more available. So try to check those settings once a month, once every few months. And if someone does contact you via social media and you don't know who they are, don't engage with them. Just because someone says they are who they are, especially on Instagram, you see a lot of people that are contacted by celebrities. We do know these aren't celebrities. These are celebrities asking for money, which we know would not be the case.
Right.
So if you do have questions when you are approached, stop, don't make rash decisions, and reach out and ask somebody to possibly help you verify that information.
Very important information, very wise information as always. Thank you so much for being here. And for contact and information for people, if they have extra questions, where should they go?
They can always go to our website at bbb.org, and if you have been a victim, please report it to our scam tracker.
Great advice there. Thank you so much for being in our studio this morning.
Thank you.
We will have a recap of your top stories, the last look at your 7-day, and everything happening around the basin after a quick break. You're watching Good Morning Basin.